Welcome to the Instagram stories for Thursday, August 24th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. First thing we're going to do is some TikTok news, and then later in the show, we're going to talk about a completely new app that builds on the idea of another app, which I think you're really going to like. Stick around, we'll get into it, don't worry. First, let's talk about TikTok's new guide to beginning using ads. Ads are a really powerful tool. Obviously, when you're paying money to have more people see the content that you've created, you want to make sure that you're asking the right questions, that you're showing the ad to the correct audience that you want, and ultimately that they're taking the action that you want them to take. TikTok made a really good guide that walks you through all of this. They explain that in order to successfully build trust and trigger action, it's important to think through these questions. Number 1, who are your customers? Number 2, what are their pain points? Number 3, how can my product fulfill their needs? Number 4, in what situations can my product help them solve their problems? And number 5, how can I deliver the message effectively? These are really important things to think about before you start creating your ad. If you don't understand all of the answers to those questions and they can't be easily communicated or explained to someone else, chances are your ad's not going to have too much success. In this post, though, the TikTok team breaks down a lot more. And they explain how the playbook that they give you is structured into 3 parts. First, the creative ads storytelling factors. That's all about how to highlight your product's selling points. Think about your target audiences. Think about the ideal usage scenarios. The second part of the playbook has to do with creative ads, all the fundamental info that you need to think about. Creative quality and video dimension, creative quantity and diversity. And then they explain how to set up your TikTok account for the maximum effectiveness of your ads. This handbook has some great graphics, including how to explain your unique selling point, which is the best way to articulate the benefits that your product or service has that your competitors do not. And there's an excellent Venn diagram showing where your unique selling point is in the intersection of what is your product doing well, how does your product benefit your customer, and what do your competitors lack. And all of those things overlaid on top of each other in a Venn diagram right in the middle, that's your unique selling point. I will link to this handbook so you can check it out. This is a great tool from the TikTok team, and I absolutely recommend checking it out. We are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about an app called BeFake, which is the exact opposite of BeReal. If you remember BeReal, you're going to like BeFake, so stick around.
This episode is brought to you by Michigan Economic Development Corporation. In Michigan, you can have both a rewarding career and a quality lifestyle, with plentiful career opportunities in world-changing, innovating industries, from electric vehicles to clean energy to biotech, with room for advancement no matter where you are in your career. Plus, Michigan offers a welcoming, beautiful, affordable, and inclusive community for all. Live your best life. You can in Michigan. Visit themichiganlife.org.
And we're back. Do you remember the app called BeReal? It was a pretty big deal last summer, and it was an app where everyone got a notification at the same time, and you would take a picture using your front and back camera at the same time and upload it to BeReal. If you wanted to see other people's BeReals, you had to post your picture in order to see theirs, and because everyone was doing it at the same time, everyone got the notification in the same moment. It was kind of like you had to drop everything and share what you were doing and what your worldview looked like. And you didn't have time to take a shower, do your hair, do your makeup, all that. It was a cool concept. It was a fun idea for a little bit. But one of the challenges was that chances are whatever you're doing was not really that exciting in that moment that you got the notification. If you were somewhere though, and you were doing something exciting, it was even the better because now you had something really exciting to share with the people following you on BeReal. So now with that context, let's talk about BeFake, which is the exact opposite of BeReal. BeFake is all about getting that same notification, taking a picture of you and your surroundings, but instead giving them a complete AI facelift so that it looks nothing like where you're at and what you're doing and looks completely artistic and computer generated AI. It's nice, but it's not what you're actually doing, just an enhancement of what you're doing. I think it's silly. I don't think this has long-term potential, but I love the idea of building off someone else's concept and spinning it completely on its head. Plus, you're combining all the filters that we see on TikTok and Instagram that we know are not how people really look, and just taking that to a ridiculously far level so it's clear that everything you're seeing on the app is 100% fake. I like that approach. I think it's unique. I will link to where you can check out the Be Fake app. If you enjoyed BeReal, I definitely think taking a 5-minute or 10-minute exploration into Be Fake is worth your time. That is going to do it for today's episode. Again, thank you to everyone who sent me messages about me dealing with my layoff. I am beginning my job search and figuring out what the next steps are for me, but thank you to everyone who has sent me messages of support. It is greatly appreciated. That's it for today's episode, but be sure to come back next time for more social media news, Instagram strategy, TikTok strategy, other things that I think you need to know in this world.
Instagram news got you covered, sometimes even TikTok. Relevant platforms in the metaverse ahead of the wave without a break or a pit stop. Still waiting for Zuckerberg to give me the big job. Pause. Use trademarks and logos with Insta's permission, of course. If you like the show and you gain some good info, maybe leave a review. It's a type of applause. Just drop me a message if you want to collab. If you got some good content or you want to run ads, at Daniel Hill Media is where I am. TikTok, Facebook and Instagram.